And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our brother, Brother Farrakhan Muhammad Ali. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wow, wow, my brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. People are showing you love all around the world. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to just thank you again. And thank you. I'm looking at all the comments and can't wait to upload this on YouTube. The first question that we have for you, sir, is social media has been in just pause, going crazy. Everybody's going wild. The excitement of an upcoming event. Can you let us know what that event is, sir?
Yes, yes. So that event is the Hereafter Survival and Sustainability event.
Yes, sir.
And what we're doing is we wanted to give our people a chance to learn the necessary skills that they need to think more independently and more self-sufficiently. And that is grows for like our thought process, but also growing food is kind of like one of the main points. And then learning what to do in case of emergency, learning how to prepare for an emergency, um, how to store food, how to grow food, how to prepare food, how to cook food, how to use discarded food, and how to overall, how to live a more sustainable lifestyle. Um, And it really is a protection for us and our families and our loved ones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And well, when you say grow food, what type of food are we talking about growing?
Well, I wanted to have a bean pie contest, but the survival was more important than the bean pie contest.
Yes.
So we opted we opted we opted learning how to survive was like a little more important than comparing bean pies right now at least. But learning how to garden like in your home, learning how to garden in your backyard,
Mm,
learning how to grow things like tomatoes, zucchinis, different squashes, um, hot peppers and sweet peppers, um, um, different types of fruit, how to plant fruit trees, how to test the soil to see
mm,
what's best to be grown in that particular type of soil. And then a lot of that is how to do all this for very little money, right? Because it's easy to spend a bunch of money and, well, it's not easy, but you could waste a lot of money trying to grow your own food and not get anywhere. Um, so the amount of money you spend, it does not equate to the amount of produce that you yield. But the knowledge on what you're doing usually equates to the yield of the produce that you're trying to make. And so um, whatever people want to grow, teaching them the knowledge on how to grow it is what we would like to happen. The minister said he wanted 10,000 farmers,
mm,
and we're just trying to do our little part, to have all these people coming, and not everybody's going to buy land, but that doesn't mean that we can't build a community, and we're like minded, and we should be teaching our people everything they need, like just like we do with the teachings, right? It's like, oh, let me get this blood off my hands, right? Let me go. Well, it's the same thing with growing food and learning how to purify water and learning how to work with your brother to fix your house, or build a house. These are important things that our people really need to know. And as society gets worse and more unsustainable, what are people going to do? So
mm.
I could go out and I could buy 4 acres by myself and I could live good, or 20, whatever. But what about my neighbor? What happens when my cousin runs out of food? Right? What happens when my brother runs out? What happens when my neighbor runs out of food? No man can rise higher than the condition of his people, the minister told us. So what good is it? What good is it for me to go and buy 20 acres and get a nice little house and a couple horses and think that the world is going to be friendly to me, you know, and
Mm.
think that my children are going to go out and be able to do something outside of that, those property lines when they grow up. When in reality, if we want to change the world, we can't think only for ourselves. And so that's what these events are. They're like, okay, you can't buy land or you bought land, but either way, we don't all know what to do. So this gives us a step in the right direction, you know. So even people walk away with just more knowledge than they had before they came. I'm making all the events very affordable. This first one especially, I'm making it affordable. Um, and and offering it just as much as we can. Like I'm bringing in people from different parts of the country so that our people can get a full experience. And so that's, I know you asked me what kind of food and I just went on, but
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. People are showing you love all around the world. We got so many questions. Thank you, Sister Miriam, Sister Naima, Brother Daniel E, Sister Donita. Walaikum salam, dear brothers. And thank you very much for everyone who's showing love. Shout out to our YouTube family, Brother Kente, Brother Musa, Sister Auntie, Sister Hope, everyone who shows love. Thank you all very much. I wanted to ask you, you said purify water. Can you give us the breakdown as if you were speaking to third graders? Like, what you mean purify water?
So um you are, so let's say society collapses either on a local level or on a national level. Let's say it's a natural disaster in your area. It doesn't always have to be like worst case scenario, like China is here or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it could just be like there was a natural disaster or a cyber attack on the infrastructure of your city, and now you don't have access to clean water, or
Mm,
the electricity goes out, and now you don't have access to clean water. What are you going to do? You know, or you have land and you go out there and you get ready, but what do you drink? How do you know if your water is good? So we have people that can come in and show us how to take water that's not good for you and purify it on site
mm,
with very
mm.
little, very little. Yeah. Also, there's testing mechanisms that you can use to see the quality and what the quality and purity of your water is.
Mm,
And so I'm not an expert by any means. This is not my field of expertise, but this is why we bring in the experts, you know, so that they can teach us what we should do in case of emergency. I know there's stuff that we can buy now, like technological advances have made it easy if you buy that stuff. Like there's stuff on Amazon, like Life Straw, right? Like you can just order that. Okay, I'm good. I can take unpurified water and create purified water. That's easy if you've got 100 Life Straws sitting around
mm,
and you just
mm,
need one sip of water per day or per hour. You know what I mean? But that's not a permanent solution. And that's what we're looking to scale and to create and to teach ourselves on. So that's what we mean with the water.
praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Now, at this event, you teach what makes you, for everyone who's going, let's make sure we all go to the event and learn how many people are in these homes. I mean, like in the neighborhood or subdivision. What do you call it? Is it subdivision, neighborhood, community? Like, what's the proper terms?
It's a community,
Community?
community.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got this community. We bought this 2 years ago. It's been
Mm, mm,
almost exactly 2 years. So we just got our first homes out there literally within the last like 60 days. We have two out there and we have 5 or 6 more coming in the next couple months.
mm.
So this first event, we may only have 2 or 3 out there. But by the end of the summer, we should have probably 8 or 9. 8 or 9 homes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Praise be to
Very
Allah.
grateful.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah. And so a lot of the community members, not a lot, but some of the community members are coming to the event. Like we're teaching ourselves. You know, this isn't like one person teach another or some know-it-all teaches other people, or this is all of us just working together. Like whatever somebody does, bring that and teach it. And that's what I want to like start providing. It's not just this yearly annual this big thing, just like a once a year type conference. Like, okay, that's great, but it's like going to a martial arts conference once a year. What are you really going to a year? Going to a sustainability conference once a year. It's a great start, but there's so much more that we need to be hitting people with over and over again, because environment almost in some instances is stronger than nature. And so once we come to a conference and we learn, but then we go back to wherever we are, how much of that do we remember and how much of that do we implement? And so I want to allow regular people who are not like these big time, like I've been doing this for 30 years and I know it's like, okay, but what about the person that does like therapy for men, right? Like, why don't we have an event for that? You know, why don't we bring 10 to 20 brothers out and all talk about things and help one another overcome different things, you know? And that's just one small example, you know, like what about something for the children? You know, like sustainability is really not just about like green energy and solar power, you know, like this is really a mindset. And so I didn't want it to be like this once a year type thing, you know. So right after this event, we have a Building the Hereafter series of events, series of workshops starting the first week of June. And that one is sold out, but we're going to have one in July. Yeah, it's sold out. And it's people of all ages can come. And this one focuses strictly on building, carpentry, electric, plumbing, roofs, decks. And it's, yeah, right. And it's 3 or 4, maybe 5 brothers that are going to be out there and they're going to build a tiny home from scratch. And building a tiny home from scratch, they'll be able to show people the whole process of how to build from start to finish. And it's, like I said, again, it's very affordable. It's on our own land, you know, over 400 acres of land.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Over 4. And yeah, so we're just making it happen, Brother Joshua, making it happen. So,
Praise be to Allah. And this is very inspirational to not just myself, family, and the viewing audience of People's Podcast, but people all over the world who see a young man who's organizing and working with people in his own community on 400 acres of land to help others, not just to empower and yourself and a few people, but to help humanity. This is something that will help humanity, inshallah. Brother Michael Muhammad says, ASA family, walaikum salam. Thank you all for watching. I wanted to ask you about okay, so my mom used to watch these shows, my sisters, where they just bring all of the Habitat for Humanity type people. Everybody comes out there and donates their time. They build something. They show it, like a situation, like volunteers and things of that nature. Do you need volunteers? You need people to help you do this, or like what? How can we help to bring this into reality?
how can you help? That's a great question. How can people help? Yeah, we do. So one thing that I'm starting to do now is have Saturday Zoom calls. And on that Saturday Zoom call, I'm pretty much going to be going over the different projects, the different events, and giving people a chance to get involved. And that Saturday call is going to be like either 1:30 or 2:30 every Saturday. Last Saturday it was 1:30. Saturday before that it was 2:30 Eastern. And that link is in my bio on Facebook and Instagram, on Hereafter Farms and my own. And through that link, people can they can come on Zoom and they can figure out how to get involved.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. I wanted to ask you, now this seems, for anybody who knows the People's Podcast, know I'm going to ask some questions that are personal to me. I want to know about Wi-Fi. What's going on? If we live in the community, can we get some Wi-Fi? Can I play video games out there? Can we watch Netflix? Like, what's going on with the Wi-Fi? Do you have to live off the grid to live in the community, or can we watch TV?
You can definitely use the Wi-Fi. We definitely
Okay,
have
okay, good.
that. Definitely have. We couldn't. I don't even think people would come if we didn't have internet.
Okay, okay,
So yes, sir. There'll be internet. This is
beautiful.
on grid with an option to go. All communities you can be off grid, but the on grid is there.
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Also, I wanted for people. Thank you, everyone, for showing love. People saying, "Hey, Dr. Asani, I knew she was going to tap in because she always shows love." Since Naima Donita said yes, she would love to have a payment a plan for a 60-year-old son. Thank you, Naima, saying all praise to Allah. So Miriam says all praise to Allah. May Allah bless you all with success. Now, when you're out here, do you teach people who are from? I'm from Neighborville, so it's like suburban life, or people from the inner cities. People, how do you get us acclimated to country living, to being like, what do you like help us, you know what I'm saying? What, like, teach us how to get away from, to get in, put our feet in the dirt, if you will, step on the grass, whatever you say.
Well, fortunately, I was raised in a city.
Okay.
So everything is curated for people trying to not necessarily, like, you don't have to be a farmer. Like, this is not,
Okay.
farmers sometimes get mad at me, like, man, this ain't, it's like, bro, we're not trying to start with the whole thing. Like, let us get there. So it's so funny you said Naperville, bro. You're hilarious.
Yeah.
Naperville.
So I'm proud.
Yeah, no, it's real. There's a lot of neighborhoods like Naperville in Georgia too. Like,
Mhm.
Atlanta's surrounded by little Napervilles.
Yes,
And
sir.
so
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
a little more than half our people are from Georgia. The other half come from different parts throughout the country. I'm sorry if my background got a little loud too.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, so everything is tailored and curated for people that are not acclimated. Like, where you stay overnight, they're fully decked out, like plush, like luxury. So everything is set up for people who stay the night. Everything is designed by like set up by women. So everything is like paid attention to detail. It's
Yes, sir.
organized, so everything goes really well.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. And we have a few more questions for our brother. Thank you, everyone who's showing love to Farrakhan Muhammad Ali. We have a 60-second commercial break for every. We want to show love to every like, share, and subscription to the People's Podcast. Every anonymous cash app to the People's Podcast. Thank you all for showing love. We truly appreciate it. This week we've been coming with some great guests, and brother Farrakhan, he is one of those. Hold on. Okay, let me just fix something real quick. There we go. Oh, there we go. And thank you, everyone who was watching all around the world. We're coming right back to our brand. And we are live with the People's Podcast. Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Okay. Boom. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone who is showing love. And we're right back to our brother. I want to be at the event. I want everyone to show up to this event. I want us to see what it is like to have a community of like-minded people, like-minded individuals coming together to pool our resources. And man, let's make it happen. Okay. All right, Brother Farrakhan, you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yes, sir. As you all can see, Brother Farrakhan is on location, always, is ready to go. I want to. My sister said, okay, wait, hold on. Sister Miriam says similar to glamping, like GLAMPN. I'm assuming it's like glamp, like what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. Okay, boom, wonderful. So how can we get in contact with you? How can we support? And I want to pull up. I want everybody to make sure we come to the event.
So you can go on Eventbrite and type in Hereafter Farms on Eventbrite, and all of our different events will come up. Also, you can go on hereafterfarms.com, and the building event is on there. And there's also other things that you can do on hereafterfarms.com to get involved.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. I want to make sure everyone, let's go to Eventbrite. Let's go to hereafterfarms.com. And you helped to show me what tiny homes was all about. I started YouTubing it. I started doing research because it's just a very fascinating thing. Eventually, inshallah, I would like my siblings and I to live in on the same street, same neighborhood, and then friends and family and like-minded people as well. So thank you for stepping out on faith and giving us a visual example. Like, you know what I'm saying, something that's tangible. We can actually go and see you all 400 acres. That means a lot. What made you decide to take on this task?
That's that's a long story, but I'll try to keep it really short. It's just we the way the existing system is set up, it's set up for failure for us. So unless you want to be a slave for the rest of your life and you want your children to be slaves, you have to do something about it in your lifetime, something
Mm-hmm.
drastic. Sitting around complaining is not going to do anything. And so the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad introduced the idea of reverse engineering to me. I mean, maybe somebody said it before him, but so you start at the end and you work your way back. So I started with separation, right? In 2017, I was doing something called Project Separation. 2018, Project Separation. But that kind of language, it wasn't hard, but it was hard for the masses to really understand that concept and see all the way to separation. Like it's like,
Mm-hmm.
so I said, okay, well, how can we go from separation? What are the steps back down? And so I
Yes,
just
sir.
reverse engineered it down to a quarter acre and a tiny house, and then it's just next thing you know, it's 400 acres. After that, it's 4,000. And it's now we got our own homes, and soon we'll have our own farms. And this is just basically it was just out of necessity, Brother Joshua. It wasn't like I had some like new invention or anything like that. It was just, I grew up very poor in a one-room apartment with my mom. So it was like tiny home will literally be an upgrade, right? And I can't take anything with me when I die, right? So what am I going to do that benefits as many people as possible while I'm here? Because the Most High Elijah Muhammad said that the only thing floating around are righteous minds. And so
Mm.
if I could just tune into the vibrational frequency of the righteous eternal will, then I can function in that reality. And a tiny home may not sound like much, but the messenger says start small and grow large. And so a lot of us are living in tiny homes right now, even though our homes may be 3,000 square feet, but we live in a tiny home because we're in debt, because we're behind on our payments, because we're behind on our taxes, because the homes are falling apart, because we leave them to our children and they sell it. So the home may be big, the house may be big, but the home is small because there's no love in the household. What makes a home? So if our people could think righteous thoughts and have righteous conduct in a 600 square foot home on land in a community around people who united around the law and the word of God, that really is the hereafter. That's a part of it. I'm not saying this is, the hereafter, obviously, but this is a taste of it, you know? It's a tag going back to bean pies again, but it's a taste of it. Pause. You know what I mean?
Pause, pause. Yes, sir. Praise to Allah. And Brother Farrakhan Muhammad Ali, thank you for everyone who's watching. Walaikum salam, Brother James. I wanted to thank you, sir, just for your brotherhood, your representation, and your standing on business for your vision. What Allah gave you your purpose, your cross, you know what I'm saying, and you picking it up and running with it. May Allah bless you. You inspire the creatives. You inspire the other people, the mutants and free thinkers all around the world for us to keep doing what we're doing in our world. Let's all stay united. Let's all stay connected and help make his word bond. So I thank you, Brother Farrakhan, for your work. And people, Brother Darren says, all praises to Allah. Thank you very much for watching, Brother Darren. And once again, how can we come to the event? I want to make sure that it is super successful. We know it's going to be successful, inshallah. But how can we come to the event and support it?
If you go on, you can DM me directly on Facebook or Instagram under Brother Farrakhan. So if you DM me directly, that's probably the best way. If there's like some special idea someone has, you know, or some really important like message that somebody needs to get to me, DM me on my social media. And then other than that, Eventbrite, Hereafter Farms, or hereafterfarms.com. There's a lot on hereafterfarms.com, and more stuff gets added every couple of weeks. Thank you. Also, I wanted to thank you too, brother, because I actually wanted to start a podcast in 2020. And it was, you know, I didn't really know what direction to go in as far as the podcast was concerned. But when I saw your podcast, I was like, wow, this brother is really, you know, but you're able to really reach in to people, pause, and bring out of them things that we don't get anywhere else. So I consider this top 5 podcasts in the world. Facts.
Thank you very
much. Down. Top 5. Yep. And it's really a jewel to our nation, like unbelievably priceless. Like if you care about the nation and you care about our people and our upliftment and the process of the resurrection, your podcast is just one of the most valuable sources of information and inspiration. Like you say, it really is, brother. So thank you for carrying your cross as well, brother. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, if it wasn't for that Ohio State hat, man, we'd be like this, bro. It'd be a wrap. It'd be a wrap.
Yes, sir. And people showing love. So Naima says, all praise to Allah. Sister Dr. Hassani says, fellow mutants, love y'all. Thank you all very much. And thank you, Dr. Hassani. And thank you for noticing the mustache. Thank you very much for that. Once again, about to upload this to YouTube. May Allah continue to bless you, sir. I look forward to bringing the camera, the crew, so that we can do the People's Podcast wants to go live at Hereafter Farms. So I want you all to stay tuned. We're gonna put some things in motion so that we can be there. And I'm telling y'all, I'm not going nowhere where there ain't no Wi-Fi and all of that. So we're gonna have a Wi-Fi. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be cool. You ain't gotta be a farmer. I'm gonna wear some Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling y'all.
I
got the J's on. I'm coming with the J's on. So just
you won't be the only one either. You won't be the only
exactly. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. So everybody come. Let's go. This is a brother who is leading by example and man, making his word bond with homes and communities and Muslims and people of all different races coming together. That's beautiful. All praise to Allah. Sister Wanda says, all praise to Allah. And thank you all for watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Salam, my brother. Peace.
Alaikum salam. Thank you, brother. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for showing love.